I'm Dana and we're hanging out over in my little corner without the big lighting for another Burnout Diaries video because I should be doing a body doubling video of my laundry and I just don't have it in me. Sitting up properly is hurting today. I'm in pain. Like, I'm really achy today and not having the best of times with it. And I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I'm trying to take it slow and like give myself a day to prepare for that. However, that being said, this video is actually a positive one because it's one of those things where I am definitely at the point where I feel like I'm recovering from burnout. Like, it is definitely getting better, but I have definitely learned that that doesn't mean to just go back to normal, just do everything. Like, that's gonna set me back. So I'm trying to still take it slow and still sort of just treat myself as though I am in burnout. But that being said, that's a new catchphrase, I'm sorry. I've been socialising the way that I used to, in a way that doesn't feel horrifically difficult and terrifying. And it's really fucking weird, to be honest with you. Like, I was very aware that I've spent the last, like, 5 years-ish sort of pushing back burnout and not letting it completely take over. But now that I'm starting to face like an actual recovery and actually feeling better and actually having parts of it go away, I'm realising just how many like burnout symptoms and burnout like things were happening to me that I didn't really register as anything beyond like, yeah, I'm not doing well. So I've never been the best at socialising. I've always been someone that often gets like a weird look, and you know, I often say the wrong thing and it often goes a bit wrong. But the last like 5, 6, 7-ish years, I just haven't done it, you know? Like, it's been really rare and a really big like celebration for me when I've managed to actually socialise and make friends and speak to people. Even like, I was really proud of myself when we went to America because when people complimented me, I quite often managed to say thank you and sometimes even throw a compliment back. And that was a massive deal for me to be able to actually like verbally say something to a stranger. Like, I hadn't been able to do that in a really long time. And there was a level of like, I'm in America and Americans are speaking to me and it's all like different and like, you know, it didn't feel the same. But like, I'm sure you've heard me mention in videos that I've really thought that my ability to like speak to people and to like immediately respond to strangers and things like that, I really thought that that was part of my masking and that I'd lost it through unmasking and not, you know. And there is definitely a level of like, I've still not been able to mask in the way of like being appropriate for situations that I'm not used to, kind of thing. Like, I know that I'm going to feel really out of place and weird in my doctor's office tomorrow, but I do have more faith that I'll be able to actually speak to them because I'm saying all this. I've befriended some neighbours. There's some neighbours that just like occasionally sit down at the end of my street when it's like sunny weather, when it's nice. And I've been eyeing them up since I moved in. I was like, they look fun, you know, like they look like nice people, like the way they sit together. Like, it just looks like a nice time. So I've been eyeing them up since November when I moved in. And finally the other week I was just like, oh fuck it, like they're all laughing and having a nice time and I'm fucking sat on my own in my house and like, I'm just gonna go over and be like, oh yeah, I live up there, can I sit with yous? And it's something like, I would have done that without a thought, without a fucking issue when I was like 16, 17, 18. You know, that's how I got into my horrible relationship. I was like vaguely friends with someone that was in a band, and my like the person that became my boyfriend for a while, for 8 years, was also in the band, and I was just like, hi, it's nice to meet you, I'm Dana, what kind of things do you like, you know? Like, I was never afraid of starting a conversation. I couldn't really maintain the friendships and it made me very anxious still, but I just did it, you know? And it's the first time in probably honestly close to a decade that I've just gone over to strangers and been like, hi, can I be one of you? And it was fine and it worked and it was exactly like the way it used to go. But it's one of those things that from that experience and the way it made me feel, and I also on Friday went to like one of my local charity shops, and again, I've been in there a whole bunch. I'm like used to the people's faces in there, and the person serving me started a conversation. I'm sorry about the noise outside, I can't do shit about it, it's the area I live in, that's just how it is. But I had a conversation with the cashier, just like a random one about like Doctor Who and things we like and 80s stuff and our interests. And it was, to be fair, it was also in like the local autism charity shop, so like I was like, I know that you're autistic because that's part of the thing of working in here, so I'm going to talk about Doctor Who and it's going to be easy for both of us. And it was, but like it was a nice conversation, you know? And again, it's been years and years and years since I've had a conversation with a stranger like that where it's just been a nice pleasant conversation. I haven't left it like absolutely cringing at myself. And so, I didn't like Bob's Burgers, like some parts of that the first time I watched it, because when Tina has her awkward moments and she's like that's what I do. Like for years and years and years, anytime I've had like any small brief conversation with someone, when I've walked away and I'm on my own and they can't hear me, that's my like little vocal stim that I do to try and get like the cringe and anxiety and like just and it does also remind me a bit of the sound that The Grudge makes. But it's the first time in like literally years and years and years and years and years that I just had a conversation and I wasn't like panicked the whole time it was happening, and it didn't feel like my brain was having to like race and race and race to try and keep up and try to process what's happening and try and process what's being said and try and make the eye contact and do this and do that. You know, like it wasn't, I still had some level of anxiety. I was still a bit nervy and a bit but it wasn't the worst thing in the world that lasted for like 3 hours afterwards and just made me feel like I really desperately need to like move and make noise and re-stimulate, like re-regulate myself, you know, like it wasn't a thing. And it's making me really think that a lot of like, I don't want to say my social difficulties, because it's one of them where like I've always had social difficulties. Like I said, I'm the person that says the wrong fucking thing, or like what I say is just mistaken and things like that, and I don't think that's gonna magically change because I'm less burnt out. But just my overall fear, and to be fair, now that I'm talking about it, that's why these videos are useful for me, to be fair. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm very like, it wasn't so much a fear of like the conversation or what the person's going to do or what the person's going to say. It was the fear of like, I can't keep up. Like my brain is absolutely struggling to take in what they're saying, actually process it and understand what they're saying, form a reply of my own, have my mouth work to actually put that reply forward. Like, I just haven't been able to do it. You know, like my brain just has not been working in that way. And it feels like through all of like the fucking like healing and relaxing and trying to like relax through my burnout and sort myself out and accommodate to myself, and it actually feels like things are coming together and working, and I'm actually able to do some level of communicating and socializing without it being the worst thing in the fucking world and without it being so incredibly fucking difficult, you know? Like that's the main thing, is that it's just been so hard to have any sort of conversation, social situation, any of it. It's just been so incredibly fucking difficult. And it's not become the easiest, nicest thing in the world, but it's become so much easier that it's a genuine shock, it's a genuine surprise. I am like, what the fuck? It feels like a part of my brain has been like unlocked again, you know? And it's also really nice to feel like I'm not masking when I'm doing it, you know? To feel like it is like a genuine part of myself, you know? Like as much as I've always been alright with spending time on my own because I've had to be, I do like socialising, I do like connecting with people, I do enjoy learning about other people, and it's really nice to feel like I'm able to do that again without it being, first off, just incredibly fucking difficult in the moment. And like, that's the thing as well, is like over the last like, again, decade or something, I feel like I've met so many people I could have had a really solid, nice connection with and could have been really good friends with. And when talking to them, when socialising, when trying to connect, I just haven't had it in me, you know? Like I just have not been able to do it. And it's been so incredibly frustrating, and it felt like I'd lost a part of myself. And it was so scary to be like, is this one of those situations where I either mask and exhaust myself or I just don't manage to do it? And to feel like all of that sort of gone away is so lovely. And beyond that, one of the other situations where it's been like really fucking starkly clear to me is that since 2020-ish, I've on and off been on dating apps. I never know how I feel. I do know how I feel about them. I don't fucking like them. I don't want to match you because I think you're hot. Like, I understand that is what is happening on a dating site, but I fucking hate it. I don't like how just shallow it is, you know? Like, I would much rather have dating sites where it's like, it's just a written bio and you get to know each other a little bit and then see each other. I don't like that it's purely, I'm matching you because I think you're hot. Oh, and you've matched me because you like the way I look. But I also understand that that's how it is. But the last like 5 years or so, I met my girlfriend on a dating app. She was the only person that I actually had a conversation with. Like, people would message me saying hi, I would say hi back, and that is where it would end. Like, they'd send another message, I just wouldn't fucking reply. And it was one of those things where I was like, it can't be everyone. Like, I know this one is me, but every opening message that I get, every bit of small talk, every question, all of it, I don't know what to say, you know? And it's very easy because, like, everyone else is like, oh, dating apps are so dry, no one ever talks, and everyone's like this. It was very easy to be like, that's what it is. But I hate it, but I am on the dating sites again. I don't know how far I fancy it going because I am quite happy on my own at this point, to be fair. I don't know how much I want to, like, welcome someone into my life. But it would be fun to, like, go out on a few dates and have some, like, in real life social interactions with people for a change, you know? But very nearly everyone that's messaged me, I've had something to say, you know? I read the message and I'm like, yeah, here's my reply. And I might edit it a few times. And that's the thing, I'm like, oh, here's my reply. I do immediately think of my reply and then I spend like 3 hours mulling it over before I actually type it and say it. And by that point, it has been edited a few times and had a few drafts. But I am actually replying to people the same day, which I literally have not been able to do before in my history of dating apps. Because it was just the thing of like reading the message and being like, I don't know what to say to you. Nothing is coming to mind. I don't have like the mental energy to summon up a fucking reply to this, you know? And I felt mean and bad about it, so I just deleted the dating apps. And it's one of those where, like I say, I really don't know how far it's going to go. I'm using Bumble at the minute because I think it just seems a bit nicer than the others. And I've had a few matches and there's conversations happening. They're still in the very early stages. But, like, I'm replying to people. I have things to say and responses. And honestly, it's quite a fucking relief. I was like, have I become this, like, really dull, boring person that just never has anything to say to anything? Like, unless you're bringing up, like, Trisha Paytas' baby or something, you know? Like, I have these, like, sort of almost trained, scripted responses of things that I've seen other people say online that I can say to things when things like that come up. And everything else when it comes to, like, trying to speak to someone on a get-to-know-them level and not random small talk, just nothing was coming to mind. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say about myself. And I feel like it's so often read as, like, low self-esteem. And, like, I don't have the highest of self-esteems I'll give, but I do very much think it's not that, like, I didn't have good things to say about myself. It's that I just could not think of anything to say about anything. And as much as I'm using, like, fun examples here, I also, in the last, like, month and a half, have done 2 whole phone calls. One to sort out my council tax, and I think I've actually sorted out my council tax now. It's taken me like 4 or 5 months and a hell of a lot of stress, and I've cried about it a whole bunch, but I'm fairly sure I have actually properly sorted out my council tax. When I go on my little online portal thing, it says there's nothing for me to pay. It's beautiful. Already paid a good fucking amount to it, like. But I'm pretty sure I've sorted that. And I also had to phone Zoo Plus because I did my big cat food order and it didn't show up. But, like, I haven't done phone calls in probably 3 years or so. And even, like, the year before that, it was one of those where, like, I stopped making phone calls because every time I made a phone call, and especially, like, 99% of phone calls that I need to make are to, like, government, I don't know what to call them, like, government areas. Like, I'm phoning, like, DWP and stuff like that, you know? So I'm sat there on hold for, like, fucking 5 hours. And then when the person answered, I'd be like, hello. I just wouldn't be able to do it. I just wouldn't be able to fucking speak. And it was so scary because it's fucking about important things, you know? And and I'll give that the first time I phoned Z Plus, I did hang up when they answered. Like, it was just like, it was on instinct. I was like, why the fuck did I do that? I've just sat here on hold. They picked up and we were like, oh, hello, it's Z Plus, blah, blah, blah. I just hung, like, I didn't even think about it. I wasn't like, I'm going to hang up now. My hand just pressed the button and I was like, oh shit. But I did manage to actually do those phone calls, and that's a really big fucking win for me, to be honest with you. And it's again, it's one of those things where, like, I don't think I'm ever gonna like phone calls. I'm never gonna be like, I'm looking forward to this one, but, like, I do need to be able to do them sometimes. and it's been fucking horrifying to not be able to whatsoever. And it just makes me feel a lot more like stable and secure and a lot less anxious and a lot more like I'm not going to have any horrible big issues because I can sort them before they get to be a horrible big issue, because once every 3 weeks I can make a phone call, you know? And like, sure, I'm gonna fucking throw up in the lead up to it, and maybe I'm gonna cry while I'm talking to them. That's happened a whole bunch of times. I've gotten really good at making it sound like I'm not crying, even though like I'm absolutely fucked. I'm probably gonna have a big cry right afterwards, and then have to listen to music to re-regulate, and then have to watch my little show and just have a really horrible anxious little evening, and then go to bed and wake up and be like, it's a new day and I'm going to be alright today. You know, like, it's still a fucking thing, but it's a thing that I can do while it's that whole big thing, you know? And I do, like, having said all that, I do think it's something that I deserve to have, like, actual support with. Like, I did go and get a whole autism diagnosis for my level 2 substantial support needs, and I don't have any support. I do think that I should have, but, you know, like, at least I can fucking survive. That's what it is. I am regaining the skills that I literally need in order to be able to survive being alive in this world, and it shouldn't feel like such a massive celebration, you know, but it does, and I'm letting it feel like that. Like, that's one of the really big things that this bout of like burnout's taught. That's the thing, I'm acting like this bout of burnout's just been the last few months, when I think it's very obvious to me at this point that this burnout has been several years long, and I just would not accept it and would not let it be. And obviously, now after several months of accepting it and trying to be nice to myself and trying to get myself out of it while also, like, allowing it to happen, of course, I'm starting to actually see some benefits of being nice to myself and working on things. What a surprise. But, you know, like, after putting all the work into trying, like, and I'm still putting work into trying to, like, let myself feel things, most of the things I felt have been fucking horrible. It's really nice to feel a little bit of, like, pride, a little bit of, like, maybe things will be alright. Maybe I will be able to, like, survive as an adult in this world. So that's a delight. Like, we've finally got a video that's actually, like, a happy topic and a nice thing. How exciting's that? And I don't feel like I've rambled too much either. I feel like I got my points. I'm happy with this video. Yeah, like, I don't feel like I, like, hate any of my videos, because frankly I wouldn't post them, but there's some that I am like, I've just said words here, like, fucking hell, I hope someone can decipher that. But this one I feel like I've done good. So as always, please do like and subscribe here. I believe that helps me. If you want to leave a comment with anything describing your experience, things that you've been through that are similar to this, so all that kind of shit. Like, as much as I've had a few videos lately that have been like, and you left this shitty comment, but, like, it is very few comments that I get that I read as, like, being remotely shitty. The vast majority of comments I really fucking enjoy reading, and, like, I you know, it's y'all's experiences and things you've been through and things that you think and things that you reckon, and I really like having, you know, like, that sort of comfortable level of back and forth, you know? Like, it scares me a bit when people are coming right at me. Being able to have it where it's, like, a little bit of a distance is really nice. And again, with, like, everything that I've said in the video, I do feel like I will hopefully start replying to more comments again. I have replied to a couple lately. I know I'm meant to be rounding up this video, but that's been a really big thing for me since people, like, started commenting on my videos, because I dreamt of having people comment on my YouTube videos, you know? Like, I've been making videos for, like, over 10 years at this point. You're not going to be able to fucking find them, don't worry, I've made sure of that. But, like, I've been making videos for a long time, and it was very rare that I got even one or two comments on them. So, like, I literally dreamt of being one of the people, like, when I'd watch, like, Bethany Mose's vlogs and stuff back in the day, and she'd be like, and now I sit down for an hour to reply to my YouTube comments. I dreamt of being that person, and I could literally just sit down and do it, and I try, and I just read them all, and I don't know what the fuck to say. But, like, that's starting to come to an end now. I might actually have responses for things, and it would be nice. So comment if you want to, you don't have to, it's whatever. You can also find me over on Instagram, TikTok or Blue Sky. You can also help me out by joining the Patreon, which gets you access to the Discord, and we have, like, movie nights and all sorts of shit goes down, I won't lie to you. There's, like, someone's doing, like, art nights where people jump on the... you can do what you want there. It's just a nice little community of like really chill people, and it's a good time. And like if you want to set something up and have people join in on it, you can also, it's just a nice place, alright? So you can join the Patreon to get access to that. You can also help me out over on Ko-fi if you wanted to. And you're lucky people today, because although he isn't sat on me, he is sat with me. Can I take this way down? It's the boy. Oh, my hand's actually, that's, sorry. I've got a sweaty hand and it was sticking to his fur in a weird way. But this is baby. He's such a good boy. I swear he does like this. Like, he would leave otherwise, you know? Like, see, yeah, he's into it. He's properly into it. He loves me. He loves it. He's having a great time. Oh, he's so pretty. You're such a lovely little oat boy. The little oat man on his little oat boat. So whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're having a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and we will see you again in a good... Sorry, I don't mean to baby talk you, it's just look at him. Look at the face. Oh, it's perfect. Let's try again. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.